evening and welcome once again to Sista Talk. We are glad that you are joining us once again and rejoicing in the day that the Lord has made. We have had quite great interactions during Sista Talk in the last episodes. And in today's show, we are going to discuss a topic that's not normally discussed in many circles in the media or even in society, because I think women are either afraid or just not ready to share. But today we have three bold women who are going to take us through the journey of menopause. Amen.
Hallelujah.
And on the set today we have Professor Helen Iniega, Professor of Language Education at the University of Nairobi. Karibu sana, Professor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, then we have Rehab Ndambuki, a politician and a businesswoman.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Karibu sana. And lastly, we have Beth Mugo. Beth Mugo is a hotelier. Karibu sana. How is your year taking you, Beth?
Not bad, just it has taken over, I would say, on a high note. I thank God that He has seen us through 2020 and 2021 has begun. When I look at it, it's a year of blessing, I would say.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has been encouraging you this year, Professor Helen?
For me, I started off on a high note because in our church, Liberty Christian Center, we have a theme. We are calling this year the year of restoration and fruitfulness. So I started off hoping that there's going to be restoration of anything the devil has stolen from me. And also, more importantly, fruitfulness. I'm going to be fruitful in everything that I do this year.
Yeah, because
so really
2020 was also a difficult year for many people.
Yes.
And surely there's restoration.
Yes.
Rehab,
Yes.
how has your year begun?
I just want to thank God. This is my year. I believe it from all my heart because as I woke up for the new year 2021, the Lord spoke to me and He told me this is my year of restoration. And I want to believe that the year started well. And this is January, by the way, and I have seen the faithfulness of God. So I'm happy.
That's
I
awesome.
that.
So if you're joining us, we are talking on the journey to menopause. And we are going to understand from these ladies what menopause, first of all, means, because there's someone who is watching and they're wondering, what are you people talking about? And you can share the feed with your friends, contact us on the lines that are running below your screens, share the feed on Facebook and also on YouTube if you're joining us. So let's start with you, Rehab.
Yes.
Menopause, there's usually an age that it starts. When does it normally start? Or when did it start for you?
For me, I would say that menopause is, in many women, is when you lose your monthly period. That is your menstruation. And for myself, I lost my monthly period when I was around 40. And I thought that is my time now of starting menopause. Unfortunately, or maybe I'm part of the women that do not experience what I normally see many women experiencing. But I believe that because I have many friends, I have many sisters in Christ, and even my real sisters, I could see the way they were suffering. They were having a lot of hot flashes, the way they could even have a lot of, you can see even at night they are not able to sleep. But for me, okay, I lost my periods, but I cannot tell you whether menopause came or it never came. Because but I know it is between either 40, 45 to 55 years.
55 years.
Yeah.
All right. So, Professor, the journey to menopause is quite a long one for many women, and it takes some stages. So, when did you start experiencing your symptoms, as they call it?
I would like to agree with you actually that menopause is a journey because it starts even before you know it. So for me, I remember 2 weeks before I turned 50, I started experiencing the hot flashes, but I had moved to an area that is hot. So I blamed it on the weather, saying, this place is very hot, I can't sleep at night. But meanwhile, everyone in the house is sleeping. So I realized very quickly that it was only me experiencing a difference in terms of the environment I was in, and I was sweating a lot at night. And then after 2 weeks, it just disappeared. And then later on, then I began having what is commonly known as the hot flashes. So it's a process that comes. For some people, they may experience the hot flashes on and off. And then it will be followed very quickly, as she rightly said, by the menstruation for the periods. For some people, they will become irregular. So whereas you used to have every month, sometimes you may say 2 months, 3 months, then they come, and even the amount begins to decrease. And this is because, of course, our hormones are changing within the body, and that in part explains externally how we are beginning to feel a different way. So for me, it was a process. It's been very slow, almost like sneaking on me. I didn't realize it until later on when I was talking with a friend of mine. You talked about Sista Talk. I was talking to a friend of mine. She said, yeah, even me, that's how I've been feeling. She was 48. And then when I talked to another friend, she was 26. So we can't say there is actually a particular age, like when you're over 40 or over 50. For some people, it may come a bit early. Some, it may come later. My mother-in-law never experienced menopause. But my stepmother-in-law, oh my goodness, she always opened the window and would be fanning herself. Even when she's cooking, she would stop temporarily, go fan herself. Yes, so it happens.
But
yes,
Beth,
it happens differently for everyone.
What are these could you describe what hot flashes are?
Hot flashes are, it's a feeling that just comes like heat, a lot of heat at the same time. It's not giving you even time to like prepare yourself. It just comes like whoop. And then you feel like you are sweating, you are like breathless, like you are not comfortable. You just want to go somewhere, a cold place. You just want to open the fridge and get in there for some minutes. And it doesn't take long, by the way. It might take minutes, it might take seconds, it might last for 5 minutes or some seconds. And then it disappears. Then after a few minutes or something like that, it comes back again. It is like on and off, on and off, on and off. And it is very uncomfortable. It's such an uncomfortable place to be, or
so
something
it's like
to feel.
Intense heat that just attacks you.
Yeah, very hot, very hot.
I think for me, how I would take it is that it's something that wells up. You can actually feel it coming.
Yeah.
You feel the heat coming, and then it will hit your face. You will feel thin beads of sweat coming, and it will last maybe 10 seconds, half a minute, and then you're okay. So progressively, then you will definitely need a handkerchief to be with you every time so that you can dab any sweat that is coming out. And you think everyone else is hot. You look around, everybody's cool.
Everyone is okay.
So
sometimes it may take like 2 to 3 minutes. Some people do. Yes. It takes longer time.
But I hear it's, the symptoms differ from one person to another person. Are there any other symptoms? Rehab, you've said you've not experienced.
But I know many friends. I used to have a friend, a very senior lady here in Nairobi, and she could, the hot flashes should come, she would just sweat all over. And then she used to tell me, you don't have to touch it even with an handkerchief. Just leave it. She would sit down, it would come, and then it would dry up by itself. And you could see that mama is in total mess. But you have to go through it. I thank God that I never went through it. Or maybe I went through it, but I don't know.
Or maybe it's coming.
You never, but at this time,
it's possible.
You never know.
So actually, as she rightly said, so some people actually, they can become wet. So the sweat is intense. You feel like you're dripping on the inside and the whole body, the inner parts and everywhere, the armpits and all that. And for some people, it's mild. It's only on the face. So that is usually the most obvious symptom people will have, what they call the hot flashes. But it could also be accompanied by what people call mood swings. So one moment you're this jolly lady, the next moment, are you the one? Prof, are you the one? There's just a change in the way your demeanor, the way you talk with people. So it will vary. People have different symptoms, including mood swings.
Okay. So apart from hot flashes, mood swings, Beth, did you experience any other symptom?
I've had joint problems, like pain. I've had night sweats. I've had, sleepless nights. Sometimes you have no sleep. And sometimes, to be honest, I have memory lapse kidogo. I mean, unasahau some things. You can give me something I keep somewhere, then I try to think, where did I keep it? For a moment, I might forget, but then I remember later where I kept it. So and when I asked, because me, I thought I was sick, by the way, I went to consult a doctor. When I was told, no, this is normal, just symptoms. Maybe sometimes it might go, sometimes it might be severe, but to me, I don't think it's that severe. Okay. The only thing that I feel like it is a bit are the joints. Yeah. And the mood swings also sometimes.
I've also experienced, sorry.
If she says that you forget, then I do forget.
Yeah.
At times, actually, you are even holding the keys.
And you're looking for them.
Looking for the keys and you have them. And then you ask, where are the keys? And then your son will tell you, Mom, so you are holding the keys. And also low libido. Yeah. It's also one of the signs of menopause.
Yes. All right.
I know in talking to ladies, they have talked about low libido. And I've also had some ladies talking about, even myself, I have issues with my knee joints. So, of course, you learn to manage that. But the other thing that I've seen very common, and it happened to me, was beginning to have hair loss.
Yeah.
And for me, I remember it started earlier on, even before I had the hot flashes. I had a patch on the crown of my head. And I thought, I had gone to the salon, so maybe the salonist left chemicals there on my head. And every time I would ask, how come you have a patch here? Your hair is all grown and this part here doesn't seem to have hair. But increasingly, as I began looking around and seeing other ladies in my age range, in our church we have what we call the golden girls. So I realized some of the other golden girls' hair is also, there's something happening there. Yeah. And so I've just done, maybe it's one of the symptoms because your hormones are changing. And so it's possible that you could lose your hair. And this is important for people who begin to lose it. Other than maybe there's a medical condition, it could be one of the symptoms.
Wow. Yes. I hope you're learning something. Maybe you've seen your mom going through something, they're moody, or your elder sister, you're asking them something and they're not getting it. Probably they're going through menopause, and I believe you're learning something. Please send us a text, share the feed with your friends if you're watching, and we believe that you're learning something and you'll be able to help someone. Or when your time comes, you'll not run to the doctor, but you will know. So did you start experiencing any change physically, Beth? Apart from, knee joints and hair loss?
Okay, for me, it was a kind of a mixed kind of reactions and understanding, because when I was growing up, I've grown up with a lot of ailments, like sicknesses, diseases, and all that. And because I've been on medication for a long time, from this to this and this to this, I was like, I didn't exactly understand I've reached there. So I thought it is still those other things that are disturbed. Because me, I began early at the age of around 39, not even 40. So I thought it's because of whatever I was going through is why I am having these kind of symptoms. But then when I consulted my doctor, he told me, this is different from the sickness and disease. But maybe because of medication, that is why your body has reacted earlier than normal. So I understood it that way. So it began at the age of 39. Then I was told, this is it. This is what is happening to you. But because what began was irregularity in menstruation. It was not consistent, and then it was not like the normal flow kind of. So I was told, this is what is happening to you. So it continued like that. Like then after some time, I think at the age of 43 or something like that, everything just ceased. Yeah. Then now these other feelings now began: hot flashes, mood swings, adding weight. By the way, there was a time I had added a lot of weight. I did not understand where it was coming from. Yeah. And then I was told, you have to work on your weight to calm down. And that is what I've been doing. Even up to now, I'm still very careful with my weight. Okay. Yes.
All right. Prof, did you experience any physical change apart from your knees?
Yes. In terms of weight gain, I have gained lots and lots of weights. I was looking at my pictures and thinking, oh, yeah. So, and particularly around the waistline, we call them tires. The tires don't seem to go away, no matter the amount of sit-ups you'd like to do. You just find that they are stubborn. And of course, I've learned to manage my weight. But definitely weight gain, of course, the metabolism slows down a little bit. So you find that even though you eat very little food, the body hoards everything. And so you put in a bit more weight than you ordinarily would. Yes, I've experienced that.
Rehab,
Yes.
from the age of 40 to wherever you are right now, have you experienced any physical change?
I don't know. I cannot say. Maybe the ones Beth has talked about forgetting things. I used to think actually it's because of age. I didn't know that in menopause you can experience that. So maybe that would be one of the signs that is with me. Because I've been even asking, what do I do? Do I go to a doctor? Because sometimes I can forget. I can have a meeting and I forget. And I'm supposed to.
People are waiting for you.
People are waiting for you and you have forgotten. So
Yeah.
this is something that I need to work on, and I know God will help me.
It is well.
Wow, that's great. We thank you for tuning in, and as we continue, we hope that you're interacting with us. Send your mom the link or your big sisters the link to watch these great ladies having a discussion with us. So let's move from physical changes and move to social interactions. During this period, are there changes in how you interact with people? Your friends, or it's just the same? Because there's mood swings, there's all that. Do you reach a point like a pregnant woman and you're like, I don't like this person? Beth?
Sometimes it happens, but at least I have known how to control myself. And by the help of God, knowing that I'm a Christian, I'm not supposed to, go to the extremes. So I suppress the feeling.
Yeah.
But definitely sometimes you feel like it's not working with this person. I don't want to talk to this person. But by the help of God, it is there.
Yeah.
But it happens, it is there.
Yeah.
But I don't let it, control me. Yeah.
So interactions with people, in terms of, if you are a Christian, probably it would have been a different case. Prof, have you experienced any such kind?
I think for me it has been more positive. For many people, let me talk for the norm. The norm, they're likely to have their menopause around 50 plus years. And for many women, they will tell you, been there, done that. So they are more comfortable with themselves. They're more comfortable with who they are. So you'll find that in terms of interacting with others, they're more sociable. They're more willing to go out and meet new people. They are more sure-footed, even in terms of their career. For the most part, the women who are working, even the woman who is at home and is a homemaker, they are more confident. Maybe their children are also grown and have gone through school. So you find that they have a bit of time on their hands. They can reach out and make friendships. And that has happened for me. I've expanded my networks. I've traveled a bit just because I have the time on my hand and can be able to approach someone and talk to them, strike a conversation. Thank God I haven't had any mood swings. So I'm very easy with people. And I find, because of my age and my social circles, I find many young people coming to me, and I feel like this wise woman sharing with them wisdom that has come over time. So I think it's a good period. It's not all bad. You're able to share with others your experience, like we're doing now, and being encouraged. So for me, my social circles have expanded.
Okay. Rehab, of course, you're a politician.
But I would say that even in politics or not in politics, I can say that my experience is, there is a time that I could not be bothered with so many things. I decided to take things
As they come.
Because sometimes, when you are young, like you guys, you can mess up a lot of things because you want things like this, like this. So I realized that I cannot change men. You cannot change even your husband. You cannot change your children. So I decided to be at peace with everybody. And I want to believe that is the confidence Professor is talking about, that there's an age you reach and you feel that it is well. And when it is well, you just sleep like a baby. You wake up in the morning, you take your cup of tea, you enjoy yourself, you come and pray, and that's who I am today. I decided that I don't want to be bothered by anybody, by anything, because if you live when you are in menopause and you are stressed, it can weigh you down very quickly. So it is good for us as women, as we talk, because we are in Sisters Talk, to know that at times there is a time when you feel you just want to be alone. as I've talked about low libido, even sometimes you don't want these manenos. So if so you just want to be at peace. Hakuna maneno mingi unataka kukaa maisha yako, maisha mazuri. You are not fighting anybody. You are not asking people, where are you coming from? Where did you go? You are just at peace. Why did you do this? That time actually is this is where I am today. I decided to be at peace. Even when my sons, sometimes they mess me up, I just calm down and say, I need my peace. Because sometimes you can mess yourself up. So I believe that is the change that according to me, that is what I made up my mind. There are times that I could not even sleep, but today
Sleep like
I'm
a
at
baby.
peace. I sleep like a baby.
It seems like you when you reach a certain age, you realize, oh well, you can't change anything.
Yeah.
So you kind of, tone down, take it easy, relax.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, is that the advice you would give the younger generation, Beth?
True. There are times when you look at things and you say, there is no need of stressing myself. You just take things as they come, deal with them in an easy way, calm yourself down, manage your stress, relax, and everything else just works out well for you.
Maybe pre the menopause period, Daktari, what were some of the characteristic that you would show forth that at this age you are like, there was no need for that?
I don't know if I understood your question correctly, but like we said, menopause is a journey. We have the pre-menopause and then the menopause period and post-menopause. Of course, like I said, the hot flashes will sneak on you once in a while, and then you realize if you have the mood swings, people say, hey, nowadays you're moody. One moment you are happy, the next moment what is happening? So there are things that people point out in you that make you realize, there's something different about me. But as they point out, also then it becomes an opportunity for you to begin looking inward. And for me, I began reading around it. And also, the beauty with internet, you begin to read around it and begin to relate what you're going through and what is there in the literature. So it has been easy for me when I miss my periods. I haven't had a challenge with my libido. I thank God for that. But I say I was a late bloomer, so I'm still enjoying my life as it were. But in all the other areas, if I had mood swings, very quickly I learned how to manage them. And as she rightly said, when you're a child of God, it makes all the difference. You can be in touch with who you are and you've surrendered everything to Christ. So you take it in your stride. So for me, if I missed my periods, I just understood, okay, this is the beginning of it. It's coming. And then, like I said, a week before I turned 50, I had the hot flashes and then compared with my friends. So I know things sneak up on you. Before you know it, then you begin piecing together. In fact, you look back and you're able to trace where it all began, but it sneaks up on you most of the time.
Okay.
Yes.
So for someone who is about to enter that pre-menopause, menopause stage, rehab, what are the kind of advice that you would give them?
Maybe I would just say that if you realize that you're having some challenges, maybe low libido, you're having some moods, you feel like you don't even want to sleep in the same bed with your husband and you have not fought, you don't have to have a problem. You need to talk to him, let him understand, let your children understand what you are going through so that they can be able to accommodate you. Because at times somebody would think that you have a problem. You see? Although there are times when I remember one time I used to have a friend many years back in Meru, that is many years. I heard she was going through menopause and she was too much. So maybe people are different. I don't know.
All right.
But she's an elderly lady now. She must be over 70 if I am not wrong. But I'm saying that at times it is good for you to share, even with your friends, that I'm going through menopause. I am this age. And you can be at peace. You live at peace with all men because nobody is going to fight you. It's not your fault.
You've made a very good point about communication. Communicating your feelings, what you're going through, the challenges you're having, so that your spouse can understand.
Yeah.
And particularly for people with low libido, if you explain to your spouse, then they'll be able to know how to manage you, and you know, you'll be able to deal with it. Otherwise, they will think you're frigid, and it can cause issues depending on if they didn't really understand. Sometimes you can point people to the literature, particularly spouses, and for children, you're more likely to be emotional with them. So if they understand, then they'll support you. For me, when I talk to my children, sometimes I sit them down and there is a session they call the lecture session, because I'm a lecturer. So my daughter will always say, there goes the lecture. So immediately she says that, then I put myself in check. I don't want to lecture my children. You know, I'm mommy. I'm not lecturer in the house. So yeah, communication is critical. Being able to just give them thumbs up of what you're going through.
And just on that, just to add on that, I would tell the young people not to panic when that starts to happen, because of the lifestyle that we're living nowadays. It might begin even earlier.
Yes.
The kind of food people are eating, the kind of lifestyle, no exercise, no water, just eating and lazing around, and you know, there's no that. You know,
Physical engagement.
Exactly, yeah, those kind of things. So when it begins, they should not panic. They can, if one does not understand, they can consult a doctor. If they are told this is what is happening, they just relax and take it easy as it comes. Because gradually, all the symptoms will be in place.
But I want to believe that in menopause, you don't have to go to a doctor.
If you don't understand that is.
Yeah, unless you don't understand, but it is not sickness.
It's not a disease.
Why go to a doctor?
It's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
It's a stage of life. Wow. If you're watching us, we are glad that you're tuning in. We are about to go on a short break, but I believe that what these ladies have said is communication is key. Understanding one another, especially if you are a child of one of, you know, your mom is going through that, or your elder sister, or whoever is close to you is going through that. So understanding communication and just allowing the Lord also to take control of you.
Exactly.
We are going to go on a short break, but don't go anywhere. See you shortly.